Hello, right, business to business supply. The first time you get asked to supply a cafe, a restaurant, or a pub, um, you'll be excited and you will feel honoured. And I am here to shatter all of your illusions as usual and to just keep it real for you, right? I'm not saying it can't be successful, but you do need to know what you're getting yourself in for. Like, long-term regular work is only a good thing if it's profitable and if it doesn't cost you your sanity. So over my 15 years, I've supplied loads of other businesses and I've been asked to supply many, many others. The only time that it was a pleasant and profitable experience for me was when this one customer just used to turn up, buy whatever I had on my stall, not quibble about the price, appreciated it were worth it, and get on his way. This was one time, one client that used to do that. I won't entertain anyone even asking me now. Lost my place. I've been hurt by friends. I'm still owed money now. My entire business was put at risk. My reputation was damaged. I could go on. It's so easy to be blinded by the thrill of being asked. But the harsh reality is that they're probably also messaging your competitors. They're after the best quality at the cheapest price. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we do as well, Ellie, as business owners. The money is always going to be the priority. I know loads of lovely business owners they've tried to charm and schmooze me into supplying them, and I waver a little bit, and then they're like, "So what discount can you give?" I'm out. It's always about the money, and that's fine because that is what business is. You have to grow a thick skin. Can you tell I'm quite jaded? I've had 15 years of this crap. Okay, right. So I'm still getting asked. I still get asked for things that I don't even bake. And I still tell them my price is too high, and they still always say the price don't matter because I know your reputation. And then when I give them the price, they agree that yes, the price is high. If they just listened to me in the first place before they wasted all my time. Right, my first experience, I just want to tell you some stories basically of what can happen. But my first experience, I supplied scones to a coffee bar that was around the corner from where my sandwich shop was. One of the staff came in and basically said to me, "Don't supply them anymore." My scones had been sold a week old, they'd been nuked in the microwave, and when the customer complained, the assistant manager agreed that they were crap and said, "You know where we got them from? That new sandwich shop round the corner." Right. So obviously that hurt. My next experience, I basically sat for 2 hours, loads of free samples of cupcakes, proper schmooze this new business owner that were opening a restaurant. Sat listening to him talking about himself for 2 hours. As we parted company, we're like, "I'll definitely be in touch with you on opening week." Completely ghosted. These things happen, unfortunately. The biggest one, luckily I'd learned some things by then, but it was a posh tea rooms, right? And he were opening in September, and he wanted a guaranteed 200 plates a week. That's what he wanted, 200 portions. He wanted exclusive items that the customers, they couldn't just walk around the corner and buy those same things from me. He wanted me to make specific things for him that they couldn't buy anywhere else. If I'd said yes, I'd have been turning down my Christmas orders. If I'd started baking 200 portions a week, I'd have had less stock on my stall because, they were only me baking. So when he closed down at Christmas, I might have gone with him. That was my entire business at risk if I'd believed what he was saying, if I'd believed his bullshit, basically. Also, he wanted to pay me by invoice at the end of each month. Can you imagine if I'd supplied 200 portions a week for 4 weeks? Most of that stuff had gone in bin. Where was the money coming to pay my invoices with? So I want to advise you just how to protect yourselves, basically. I don't want to tell you not to do it. Obviously, there are good experiences out there. Not every cafe owner's out to screw you over. It can be very successful and regular long-term work. My job here is to teach you, as usual, the lessons that I learned the hard way. But I do want to remove your rose-tinted spectacles gently from your face and just toughen you up and let you know that it is scary out there. So if I can give you some tips to help you before you even consider it, then my work here is done. Even if they're friends, that's no guarantee for you. Like that coffee shop, that had been my previous job. I'd worked there for 3 years. My best mate still worked there. That assistant manager had come to my wedding the year before, and he still did that to me. So, there's no guarantee, even if they're mates, that things won't turn sour, and it hurts. It really hurts. biggest topic is your pricing. You have set your prices for a reason. You shouldn't be charging them less than you would anyone else for that same product, because you could be fully booked with full paying clients. You might be turning customers down to fit in their orders, and then they order less that week. So don't take time out of your week, don't take time away from your family for something that's not going to pay you well, just because, you know, it might not pay you well regularly. So offering products like tray bakes or plain 2-layer cakes that you can just whip up quickly, you can save them money by delivering in like reusable containers, so that saves on packaging. You can save them having to pay your time slicing things up by telling them to get the staff to slice it up, and you know, and garnish things on a plate. You can sell them quite a plain cake, and they cut a slice, put some fruit on it and some cream, and you know, they've turned a basic product that hasn't cost them too much into a luxury item for their customers. I'll go into more detail about labelling shortly, but if you're supplying pre-wrapped items, individually wrapped, you've got to put that full pre-packed label on them. So I advise them not to go that route, because that's going to cost them a lot more, because you've got to charge for your time. In most cases though, they're going to be selling loose. Cafes and restaurants, they take what you've got, they put it on a plate and they serve it up, so it's a loose item that they're selling. Right, are they expecting a discount for bulk? And if so, what do they consider to be bulk? Don't ever believe them when they say they're going to need X amount every week, because they lie. They're telling you that to try and get you to quote them cheaper in the first place. So price your products high enough in the first place so that if they do start ordering more, they do ask for a discount, that you can knock 5 or 10% off. But only do that if it's worth it for you, because if by baking in more bulk you are saving time, that's worth it for you, because you're still making your same hourly rate then. Well, your same amount of money for working less hours. Right, where am I up to? Yeah, as my prices are quite high, I normally tell all business owners that they're much better off just employing a dessert chef and paying them an hourly rate. Right, don't let them come to you with I'm currently paying £1 a brownie, because if they're happy with those £1 brownies, why are they coming elsewhere? If the baker's happy only charging £1, then why have they decided to stop supplying, which is why they're looking for a new supplier. Don't offer them a trial price to see how well your stuff sells. Give them items, you know, give them samples first so they know what quality they're getting. Because as soon as you start charging full, they're going to cancel on you. I sound like a black thundercloud of doom, but this is my experience. I've even heard this sort of thing from butchers and bread bakers and stuff. And because it is just all about the money. At the end of the day, it's all about the money, which is fine, because that's why we're in it, in the game as well. Don't let them act like they're doing you a favour by buying 2 tray bakes a week off you, right? That's not a favour. You could bake those 2 tray bakes and sell them to a customer on Facebook. Because we know ourselves that a reliable, consistent supplier of quality products is a wonderful thing. This is mutually beneficial. You know, this goes both ways. You're helping them out and getting paid properly for it. What I will say, what they are charging per portion, it's not your business. It's not, you don't even need to ask that. Don't get angry and don't take it personally if you find out that they're putting a really big markup on it. It is a common misconception that all they do is stick it on a plate and triple the money, right? Premises have got massive overheads. That £2.50 markup ain't going straight in the owner's pocket. They are a business as well. They're trying to make as much money as possible. So what they charge, don't let it bother you. If you've done your pricing properly in the first place, if you're not happy with that pricing, then that's on you. You know, they're out to make money. You need to make sure that you've priced well enough for you to earn some decent money as well. Right, next thing to consider, products. What do they want? How much of it and when? How much notice are they going to give you? Is supply likely to increase in the future? Can you meet that demand? Will it be a certain amount of the same product every week on the same day? If so, what happens when you go on holiday? Could you be making higher profit stuff, for Christmas? Are they happy to freeze? Are they happy to accept stock that's been frozen? Will their requirements for certain products, I can't read me typing, or amounts of product change over time, such as seasonally? Are you likely to get a message on a Friday night saying they've been unexpectedly busy? Can you deliver some more by Saturday? Are you able to do that? Not most of us are not going to be able to do that, are we? Can you afford to have the ingredients in stock all the time? just ask yourself all these questions before you do it. I would only recommend selling in products that you've perfected. Tell them you don't bloody do cornflake tarts, right? Because if you really must, if it's going to take you 4 practices to perfect that recipe, there's no guarantee they're going to buy it more than once from you. So if you do that, price it accordingly so that you can recoup some of those losses and also sell that product to other customers as well. If you don't think you can, don't do it, right? Because there's no guarantee they're going to order more. Get everything confirmed in writing. All your discussions should be in writing, so then if it's not working out for you, you can go back and say, these prices were based on the fact that you were going to be ordering this amount of stuff every week, or you said you were going to be ordering a lot more. It's not worth it for me to travel all the way to your premises to deliver a few items a week. So when are you going to get paid? Right, you are a small business. It is more than reasonable for you to expect to be paid at the very latest on delivery. It is your business providing the service, so you set your own terms and conditions, not the customer. If they don't like it, they need to go elsewhere. At the very least, it's payment on delivery, but that can be scary, so please do ask for a deposit. So you've got to consider, what if the payer isn't there when you do deliver? What if the staff aren't allowed to pay you? Have you got the balls to load it back into the cart? I did that once and suddenly they appeared with their checkbook, right? What if they just say they're not paying for whatever reason? Because please note that a written contract, it's not worth crap for small orders, and they know that. Can you afford to take someone's small claims? Would it be worth it for a small order? Have you even got their full name and contact details to serve them a summons? So please do cover yourself for all of this stuff. It is very common with corporate clients that they'll want to pay you later. I used to deal with a lot of estate agents, local government, solicitors, because of where my shop was. Quite often, the office you're dealing with has to send invoices to the accountant at the end of the month, and then everything gets paid within the following month. It may not suit you. It probably won't suit you. Stick to your terms. Make it clear. If they wanted to order a buffet from M&S for a meeting, they'd have to pay up front, wouldn't they? It's got to be exactly the same with you. If they refuse, they need to go elsewhere. Right, onto labelling. The regulations state if you are supplying to another business, you must give them the information that they need to fulfil their own labelling requirements. If they're selling loose, they just need allergen information. But from catering experience, I will say we get asked for a lot more than 14 allergens. There's other allergens, there's other dietary requirements and preferences. So they might prefer a full ingredients list. So ask them how they're selling and what they need from you, basically. As I've said, if you're supplying individual wrap, you need your full pre-pack labelling, which can be a bit of a nightmare. So just make sure you know what they're doing. Make sure you know that they're serving your stuff properly labelled as well. And if in any doubt whatsoever about what information they need, just phone your local AHO, because they will absolutely confirm it for you. Please do give them storage instructions and eat-by dates. Another note is you've got to have product liability insurance. It usually comes as part of your public liability, but do check that you've got that. Please keep full details of all of these orders for your environmental health, your food diary, your food safety diary. Because if a consumer complains, even if it's the cafe's fault, it could come back down the chain to you. So keep all your proof, do your traceability. I'll pop link in comments to my traceability training. So because you don't just now keep your receipts, you keep your information of your one forward supply, don't you? So, in summary, it can be great marketing for you, but it is 100% their choice whether or not they advertise that you do the baking. They may very well take the credit themselves. If they do give you credit, that can be a double-edged sword, because you've got no control over the presentation or how long the items are stored. I'd always recommend just dropping in. If you think they're keeping your items longer than what you've said, give them a little surprise visit and then refuse to sell them anymore if that's what they're doing, because that's your reputation. So that's your business to business supply. I hope you found it useful, and I hope I haven't put you off too much. But please, if I haven't made anything clear, just ask in comments and I'll get back to you.